NXT Universe trying to rally. Thea trying to power her way through.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, it's the Red Carpet Ring featuring TBK, the Turnbuckle King himself. We are here talking about WWE NXT Great American Bash 2024 Night 1 post show, the first week of NXT Great American Bash. We know that this is a 2-week event. So this is a 2-week event. It's going to be one next week. And then in the bonus round, of course, we will go over Night 2. Night 2 will go over. That will be in the bonus round. We're here live on Facebook, X, as well as YouTube. Get the likes as you come into the ring. Let's talk about NXT Great American Bash. We'll go over the matches. We'll go over everything and give my final grading on this great. It's TV special. It's not a PLE, but it's a pretty much a TV special that was on SyFy, not USA Network due to the 2024 Olympics. So we'll go over that right now. Let's do that because there's a lot to discuss here. Of course, the bonus round here. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. Let's get into that right now. Now, we'll first talk about the match card. Let's talk about the match card for American Bash. We'll go pull over that in a second. And we'll see what was the matches that were advertised. Let's look over that for a few moments. Then we'll get to the matches. All of them. All right, that is the match card. We'll go over first match. Now, the first match here to kick off the Great American Bash was a tag team match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. This is the team of Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, which is on Team Meta 4. So they had a good way to get to it, good way to work their way to the tag team match that they called out for last week. Then, of course, the champions, Unholy Union, the team of Albert Fry and Isla Dawn. This was a very good tag team match. These women, when added, they had good moments there. It made us think for one moment maybe Lash Legend and Jakara could do it. And Jakara had a good moment where she did a moonsault outside the ring. Very smooth. I like that, Jakara Jackson. She actually surprised because I don't get a chance to see her wrestle much. Ever since the whole metaphor thing, she's been pretty much backstage. Lash Legend is the one that actually wrestled more. So that was actually impressive. I mean, it was good. But these girls worked well together. And of course the great team of Isla Dawn and Albert Fry, which we know this team was formed. I remember this. Isla Dawn and Albert Fry were rivals on NXT, and then they later became a tag team, and they worked well together. I think Isla Dawn defeated Albert Fry, and they became tag team. They've been doing their thing ever since then. But this was a good match. They had some good moments there, but they're going to be one winner And it was Unholy Union to retain their tag team belts. But there was some good moments there, and there was a good way to kick off the whole TV special. They retained the tag team championships, which I figured they would. And the reason I say that because we know that this Friday they have to defend the tag team championships against Bianca and Jade Cargill on SmackDown. So I figured that they will make their way to do that. But this was very good, very impressive of these two. They looked good in the ring, definitely did their thing. So I give them much salute to them. They held it down. They definitely held it down in the tag team matchup. So these girls were great. They were great. There were good moments in this match. And then there were good moments where I like the finisher that Isla Dawn and Albert Fry did to Jakara Jackson, who was pinned. So, like I said, this was a very awesome matchup. Very good way. Like I said, it had the crowd on their feet for sure. Had me on my feet because I figured that this would be a beginning match, but it became the opening match of anything. But these girls they were well played out. I would say for Jakara and Lash Legend, as that's concerned, they were in the near future. They were more likely, give more opportunities at a tag team championship. And if they don't win it here, maybe when they go to the main roster, they could win later on then too. So it was impressive of what these girls were doing. So I gotta give them their credit for that. I liked how they were able to work well together as a unit. I like how also Carl Jackson and Lash Legend were not easy to defeat that quick. They put in the work and it showed. Like I said, they got real close at one point, but we knew for the most part, we knew that they was not going to defeat the Unholy Union. Like I said, they have to give Bianca and Jade their rematches as they were supposed to get. Let's not keep that in mind too. Let's get the likes as we come in, guys. The likes up. But anyway, solid match, very good match. I'll give it a great match. Like I said, I'm not taking nothing from them at all. They definitely did their thing. I'm trying to see what's next for Jakara and Last Legend because I definitely see bright future ahead of them. Like I said, even Jakara was impressive. She was impressive, so I give that to her as well. Very impressive things that they were doing, but we're gonna see what the next move gonna be for these tag teams. And well, we know Isla Dawn they're gonna defend the belts. Now, if are they gonna lose to Bianca and Jade? I don't know. I'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown. But I will say this: Jakara Lash I knew was solid. Jakara really impressed me. I will say that about Jakara. Jakara really impressed me in this matchup, the tag team matchup. I thought she was just a pretty face and nice body, but I was wrong. I was wrong. So they got one. They're good on there, very good. So I give them their credit. But that was the first match, and as we can see, they're still the tag team champions. So very good work by these four women to start off the Great American Bash. Now let's continue on. Let's go over another match. The next match I know we saw we saw Briggs, Cedric Alexander versus Brooks Jensen. They had a match as well. This was a quick match that was thrown. They put together the last second. They had a little interaction backstage. Cedric Alexander was trying to talk, to the talent, be good, good voice of reason, so to speak. And Bruce Jensen came in. You got to continue to rebrand himself. And he came in. And they had a match, him and Cedric. Now they had a match. It was actually match. It was okay. Not the worst match, but it resulted in Cedric Alexander. He got a win over Brooks Jensen. And I think Cedric Alexander cut promo backstage stating that he is here to, help the young talent, but also shut them down when needed. So he made that known, made that very known when he did that. So he won his match, and I think this is his first match that he won since he's been back on the whole NXT. Because he came from SmackDown, but he's back now. He's back on NXT. He really came from 205 Live, honestly. I think he was originally a 205 Live guy, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Cedric Alexander defeats Brooks Jensen in a one-on-one match. It wasn't a too long a match, maybe a little under 10 minutes or 10 minutes under. So, but yeah, it was solid though. It was okay. It wasn't the best. Other than that though, good match. We'll talk about another match on the card here. Another match we'll discuss. We'll discuss that in a second. But that was another match on the card that will be talked about. And we'll get to the third match. Like I said, it was pretty much this wasn't an advertised match. I just went over the ones that were advertised W for WWE NXT Great American Bash. Let's go over the rest, shall we? Now let's see. We have Tony D versus Tony D'Angelo. It was the Heritage Cup on the line. Tony D with the family versus Tavion Heights. NQCC means No Quarter Catch Club. That's a stable with Charlie Dempsey, himself. I forgot the other guy name. He always gets beat up. And Ren St. Clair, I think, is a partner now. So this is another match that was on the card. Again, these guys did their thing. I like this match as well. Good solid match between these two. I like how these guys going back and forth. They both had pinfalls over each other. They both had that, and Tony D, it always seemed like when he's down, it always seemed like when Tony D is about to lose, he's about to get the L, he's about to lose his cup, he always steps up and he always proves everyone wrong. And it shows that when he was able to show his abilities in the match, and we saw a little distraction there. If you look down there, Ren St. Clair got involved. You guys remember that part. That was one part in the match of Ren St. Clair. When she got involved in the match, I know she was right by Tavion Heights. So, and then there was interview in separate locker rooms. So that was a good moment. But other than that, though, after all this, Tony D'Angelo, he prevailed and he retains his NXT Heritage Cup. So he is still holding on to that precious cup that he has. He had that cup for a little while now. Seemed like he had it for long. I don't know. But that's how I see it. But other than that, that's what he has. But congratulations to Tony D'Angelo. He is still the Heritage Cup champion. The Heritage Cup. Yeah, champion. He's still the champion. So that's good. Like I said, I know ever since he competed for the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver against then champion Ilya, he did not win. But ever since then, he was on a quest for the tag team belts with Stacks. They didn't regain those. Then he won this cup. So he seemed very solid now in his run as NXT Heritage Cup champion. Other than that, though, these guys done their thing. So I give it a yeet.
Yeet.
So yeet. Other than that, let's get on to the next match on the card. We will talk about another match. Well, actually, it's not even another match. It was some segments here and there. I know some stuff going on, but let's talk about it right now. It was, like I said, this was pretty much a segment here. Before we get to the next match, but let's get to it right now. Give me 1 second. Pete Dunne. Now he cut a promo here. This was backstage during, I think, right after this match or whatever. I know that Pete Dunne has pretty much explained his heel turn, and it was a good explanation of the story. He said that Trick Williams is complaining about losing the NXT Championship, figuring out what's his next move, what's he gonna do, and we know Trick Williams wants to regain the title at all costs because he wasn't even pinned for the belt. We get that story, but also they're saying here as well that Pete Dunne saying that he went through everything. He's saying that he had to go through a name change. He went from Pete Dunne to Butch. He went from being a part of the Brawler Bruce where Sheamus abandoned him and Ridge while he was on injury. He also explained why Ridge Holland bailed on him when he needed him the most. Then he explained that Tyler Bate, he even reteamed with him and changed his name back to Pete Dunne, that he got an injury. Basically, he was all alone, and he has problem with Trick Williams saying he needs to figure it out. And he's basically, so to speak, to teach Trick Williams a lesson. That's the whole part of that. So since he's doing that, trying to teach him a lesson. And he's saying he went through all his adversity. He went through it all. He explains why he attacked Sheamus on Raw. Like I've been saying, what's the whole deal with Pete Dunne? Your beef with Sheamus that he coming over to NXT. And I'm gonna get more into that as well. But he explained, at least we have an explanation of his full heel turn. He's explaining everything from Brawling Brutes, name change, Butch, all of that. So he said Trick needs to figure it out. Now, does Pete Dunne have a point in that of what Trick Williams needs to do? Yeah, he has some point to that. But why are you attacking this man from behind? If you want to teach him a lesson, you face him man to man. Don't be a coward all the time. And he does this with Trick, and he also does it with Sheamus. But I guess they have to do that to sell the new heel persona of Pete Dunne. But it would be so much better if he tried to face him straight up. So, Uncle Jackie, Sports NVI Network, salute to you. Appreciate you coming out. But yeah, this is Pete Dunne explained his heel turn. So I guess we're gonna see more of Pete Dunne. There is a match between himself and Trick Williams set for week 2 for Great American Bash. So we will talk more about that when we get to it. But let's get on to the next segment of NXT Great American Bash Night 1. We'll talk about Joe Hendry's concert. We see that Joe Hendry concert, he had a nice concert going. The fans were right behind it. I believe in Joe Hendry. That's his theme song, but I know that he had a good concert going. Everything seemed fine. Next thing we know, we see that he is confronted by Gallus, Joe Coffey first, because he was talking about Joe Coffey. He's making fun of him, saying that they got kicked out because of the bad beard and all that stuff. They was making fun of Gallus, and Gallus came out and they confronted Joe Hendry. They didn't like what he was saying, obviously, and they wanted to pay him a visit about that. So it went from a nice, pleasant concert to ending and getting real, real ugly. We know it got ugly with these guys. Excuse me. We know it got real ugly between these guys. We know where it was going. But at the end of the day, I mean, this had to set up for something. We knew he wasn't just there for a concert. We knew Joe Hendry was going to eventually get his one-on-one match. And it got ugly, and they beat him up. They even hit him with his guitar. Joe Hendry later on backstage said he's not going for that. It ain't going to end that way. He's going to have a match next week. And we kind of figured that. We knew that it was going to be Joe Hendry in his mind saying that it's going to be hell to pay for how they attacked him. So we knew that was going down. So who knows? But I know that's going to be set for next week. But it's a good story to set up for the next match between them. So, other than that, we got that. We're going to talk more about that match. And that was one of the match. That was a segment, not even a match. But let's go on to the next part of the show. Let's see what else was going on. We had another match here. Jada Parker versus Kendall Gray, who had Carly Bright with her. Now, this was a quick match. This was nothing too much to talk about. Jada Parker, we like. She's good in the ring, and we like the way she looked too. At least I do. But other than that, though, Kendall Gray lost a quick match. This wasn't even a long match. It was a very quick match, not long at all. It was pretty much, if you want to, because it seemed like Jada Parker, when Roxanne was talking to the host, she was saying you ain't gonna have an NXT championship for long, and they're teasing pretty much she will be the next challenger for Roxanne's NXT Women's Championship. But we'll get more into that. But she was ready for her match, and this was a squash. I mean, not the best match. It's just to build Jada Parker up as she gets more matches and or maybe even an NXT North American match title shot as well. But definitely, she's hot. A lot of them. Oh yeah, most definitely. And this is how I feel when I see these kind of women. Yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet. That's right. She is hot. No doubt about it. But this is a quick squash match to help build Jada Parker's character, get her ready for the NXT Championship opportunity or NXT North American Women's Championship opportunity, or even win the NXT North American Women's Championship. That's what this setup was for. That's how they was doing this match. So nothing too much surprising here as far as that goes. But let's get on to the next match on the card. We had a 6-woman tag. We had Lola Vice, the team of Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, and Carmen Petrovic at the bottom row. Then at the top row, we got Fallon Henley, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix. It's pretty much the newbies versus the veterans, except for Jasmine Nix. She's pretty much, yeah, but they had this all started with Fallon, JC, not Jasmine so much, but JC and Fallon was mad because Lola, Soruka, Carmen have been afforded more opportunities than they have, and they're rookies. We know Soruka and had opportunity at the NXT North American Women's inaugural ladder match at Battleground. We know Carmen Petrovic's been getting more TV time. Lola Vice, who was just recently in a feud with Roxanne Perez over the NXT Women's Championship. And Fallon Henley and JC James feeling some kind of way. You know, they basically feeling like, you know, they should have been had the opportunity. And they feel like they pretty much like a Dolph Ziggler.
And it should have been me.
But this is a very good, solid tag match. Jay Cargill's the best. Look it to me. Oh yeah, definitely got to step that up. But this was a good, solid match between these women here. They did what they could do in the ring. This was one of the best matches of the night, actually. Very good. Soruka did her thing. Fallon Henley and Carmen, they all did their thing. This was one of the better matches on the card. I like how Soruka and Petrovic worked with each other, you know, because JC Jane and Fallon Henley's about to do a double suplex on her, and Soruka got away and saved it. But I know they hit the corner hip attacks. They almost even got the win at some point, but these women were good. And I figured that they weren't going to keep building them like that to get the win. They was going to somewhat put the heels over, as we know, it's the veterans, as I show who they are on the card. But this was a very, very solid match. I like this match, actually. It wasn't bad at all. I have to give it to the women. They really did. They did some work there. They definitely did some work there. I think this match, like I said, one of the better matches on the card, in my opinion, but I'm not taking nothing from the women. And the winners of this match, it ended up becoming the heels, which is Fallon, JC, and Jasmine. They are the ones who got the win. And I don't know what they're going to do with them next as far as the characters go. I don't know where that's going to head next. But definitely this gets a yeet in my book. Definitely gets a yeet. Well deserved.
Yeet.
Yeah, that's definitely a yeet all day. But other than that, though, guys, this was solid, very good, very very solid match. Now, now we can go over the rest. Let's talk about if there was some. See, even some matches. I think I got all the matches pretty much. It's one more match on the card, and that's the main event. And we know that's Roxanne versus Thea Hill. We know that's coming up next. So this was a very good match by these women, though. One of the best matches of the night. Let's get on to the main event. And we know the main event here is Roxanne defending her championship against Thea Hale. This is the main championship for the women's division. This was the match everybody talked about. Thea and Roxanne, these two, they were going at it. This was the best match of the night. Very good way to main event the show. Very good way for that to happen. So salute to both women on that part. Salute to both of them. And these two, they had a good face off. We knew that Thea had the momentum. She's the underdog baby face. We knew that she was going to she had to prove everybody wrong that she could win the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne underestimates her. No one takes her seriously. I know Thea was getting tired of that. But other than that, though, it was a very, very good way for this to kick off between Roxanne and Thea. A lot of good back and forth, a lot of submission holds. Roxanne put in her crossface. Thea put her. She had the arm locked in for a Kimura type lock. Roxanne crossface. It was a lot of that, but still a very, very good match. And there was some good moments in this match. Very good moments in this match. And that was one of the good moments of the whole NXT Great American Bash Night, week 1.
NXT Universe trying to rally. Thea trying to power her way to.
So yes, Thea powered out. There were good moments with Thea were countering Roxanne. She tried to hit the pop rocks. Thea countered out of that. She powered out the crossface as you saw there. But Roxanne did the same to Thea. And this was pretty much a good size for these size women. They're both pretty much the same height. Roxanne's 22, Thea 20 years old. They both are good, and this was good. And the crowd was going crazy. NXT was loving it, everything. But, you know, it only could be one winner, and that's Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez once again retaining her championship. Roxanne Perez once again showing why he's the best, because she cut a promo backstage stating that she is the best of this division. Can nobody beat her? She said not Thea, not Gulia, not Stevie Vaquer, not Lola, not nobody. So they're really, really putting Roxanne on this high pedestal because she has been doing her thing, which she has. I know a lot of people saying Roxanne should go to the main roster and all that jazz. No, she should not. Why go there? And you are thriving. You are dominating in the NXT Women's Division. You are in your second run of the NXT Women's Championship, and you're dominating more than ever before. And this run is definitely much better than her first run when she was a babyface. So, because I was not a fan of her first run, and I stated that before when I covered PLEs. And this woman's only 22 years old. She's on the cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated for the women's division. She's had this belt now. I want to say she won it since Stand and Deliver when she beat Lyra Valkyria. She's won this belt now. I want to say a good 115 days. So she's had this belt for a little over 3 months, almost 4 months. So definitely, Figure 4 TV, salute. Salute to you, man. But yeah, Roxanne, she has been proven time and time again why she's a great champion. But just because she's doing great doesn't mean she's ready for the main roster. Doesn't mean you should call her up automatically to Raw or SmackDown and then call up there to do nothing. Look at Blair Davenport. She got called SmackDown, barely doing anything. She's in a pointless feud with Naomi right now. The only one's doing something that did get called up is Lyra Valkyria, and she's not even on her own. She's in the tag. She's in a 6-woman tag. So then we don't need Roxanne called to the main roster right now. Roxanne is doing just fine as the NXT Women's Champion. She's dominating. She's beating multiple people. She's beating Lyra. She's beating Natalia. She's beating Lola Vice. Now she's beating Thea. I mean, she's beating everyone. She's beating everybody. And I think Jada Park will be her next challenger. So I think that's what it's going to be, what it's going to turn out to. But she is doing great, and she dominates. She's very dominant in her run. She's going to be pretty much one of the best NXT Women's Champion and the most prominent women's NXT Women's Champion since, I want to say, Mandy Rose, because she's the one that beat Mandy Rose for her first run. And she was on a very dominant run, holding her belt for 300 plus days. So this was a very good match between Thea and Roxanne. These women showed out tonight. They really showed out. I admired what they was doing. I like Thea. Thea, a bright future for her. Because like I said before, this was gonna be her second time competing at the Great American Bash event for the NXT Women's Championship, and she did not win again. She lost just like she lost last year, you know. And Thea Hale, I gotta give it to Thea Hale. She has some good moments in this ring. She had good moments in this ring. I'm not taking nothing away from Thea. It's just Roxanne time is now and not hers, but we gotta give Thea some credit as well. And I've been watching Thea. She's definitely improving since she first came to NXT a few years ago, I believe. I think it was 21 or 22, whatever the case may be. She's definitely done her thing. She had some good moments in the match. Like I said, she was powering out Roxanne. She came close to even beating Roxanne. Even Roxanne Perez admitted it. She came close to beating her. So I can't take that away from her. I mean, if we remember, she got close at some points. Because I remember she did that real good moonsault move off the top rope, and she got later on to Roxanne. And it was a good moonsault, very good moonsault when she did that move. I got to give that to her. She had a very good move when she did that. So I give her credit for that. Give her much credit for that. So that right there, yes, it gets a yeet.
Yeet.
So yeah, this was a good moment. But I know she was so, yeah, I know the crowd felt bad for her when she didn't win. She looked so down. She looked down when she lost. And I know she put up a fight. Thea looked so down when she lost. She was in the ring crying. I don't know. She's been somewhat of a heel already. She's going to win that championship. Stick around. I don't see her getting called up right now, but she'll get that championship. Not get at least the NXT North American Women's Championship, or both for that matter. But she has a bright future. She's only 20 years old. Thea's young. She has plenty of time to improve and plenty of time to get on a higher level and become a women's champion. So she has a bright future ahead of her. Definitely a bright future ahead of her. Now, let's get to the rating of NXT Great American Bash Week 1. What is the rating of that? Let's get to that right now. Let's see. We'll get to that. And then we're going to get to the bonus round. So we're going to get to NXT Great American Bash. And I give this a 4.5 out of 5. This was a great TV special, or it's not a PLE because it wasn't on Peacock, but this was a great one. Great matches by the Jakara, the opener match. That match was good. The 6-woman tag was good. Thea and Roxanne tore it down. You know, Grace Samuel with Joe Hendry was okay because it set up for the match with Joe Coffey. You know, but a lot of good things set up. A lot of good things set up. I'll give that to them. A lot of good things that were interesting. But this was a very good Great American Bash. Very interesting. I'm trying to see what's going to be the next move for some of these characters. We're going to see on week 2. Week 2's next week. We're going to see how that's going to go. But this was a great way to open up NXT Great American Bash, because I know after this we're going to have No Mercy and Halloween Havoc. NXT No Mercy and NXT Halloween Havoc. But this was a very solid TV show on SyFy, not USA Network. But I like where this is headed because normally I wasn't a big fan of the TV specials that was on USA or SyFy, but they've gotten much better since then, much better. And I'm going to give that rating to Great American Bash. So great rating, and we're gonna shift off, and we're gonna go to now. We're gonna go to week 2. So week 2 bonus round. We're gonna head to shortly, and we're gonna see what the preview will look over. Well, I'm sorry, we gotta go over what went wrong. Excuse me, moving too fast. We gotta go over real quick what went wrong with Great American Bash, and we're talking about week 1 or night 1. We're gonna go over the stuff I noticed that I did not like. So we'll go over that shortly. Then we'll get to the bonus round. You guys get those likes up. Uncle Jackie said Uncle Halloween Havoc still around. Okay then. Well, it's for NXT brand, Uncle Jackie. It's not for the main roster in WWE, only for NXT. And yes, NXT Halloween Havoc, that will be in pretty much October or something like that, or November. Pretty much October for Halloween. So yes, but it's only for the NXT brand. It's only for that. But other than that, we're gonna go over what went wrong with Great American Bash Week 1. One of the things, and that is pretty much every show, PLE or TV special. I'm gonna go over what I didn't like about the show, regardless if I give it a high rating like this show or a low rating. I'm gonna go with what I didn't like, what things that I noticed, and what did I see when I watched the event. So we'll talk about that now. So, what's the first thing I did not like? Pete Dunne. I know that he explained his heel run, his heel turn. My question is he on NXT and Raw? It seemed like he's shifting more NXT right now because I'm gonna go over. He has a match as I announced, but my question with Pete Dunne, which show is he on? Why is he on? This is my thing is I understand he explained his heel turn. I understand why he turned on Sheamus. I understand that whole concept. And I understand maybe he had an issue with Trick Williams complaining. I get that too. But my question, why is he on both shows? Why do we see Pete Dunne on both Raw and NXT? I said this about Raw. Now, it's good they allow us to know what's going on with Pete Dunne more as he explained a little bit more, but the fact still remains you're on 2 shows. What is going on here? Now, I asked, not only was he on 2 shows, why did he turn heel? I'm glad that's cleared up, but why is he still on both shows? If he got my question, this is me thinking, I'm thinking in my wrestling mind, I got my wrestling mind on. If he has a beef with Sheamus with the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus abandoning him, and of course, Tyler Bate being out, wouldn't he beef with Sheamus first? Wouldn't he go towards Sheamus? Why are you going straight to Trick and Sheamus at the same time? You're beef with 2 people on 2 different shows at the same time. Why? That does not make any sense to me. I mean, it's logical. I mean, what I'm saying here is truth here. I mean, I just got a question. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, tell me what. I mean, I'm telling the truth here. This man's been on both shows. I don't get that. I really don't get that at all. It don't make any sense to me. I really don't get that at all. Yes, I've been asking that for weeks. What is going on with Pete Dunne with this heel turn? We got why he did it, but he's still on both shows. It would have made more sense if Pete Dunne and Trick had the match this week 1 and nip it in the bud, and he could focus on Sheamus on Monday Night Raw. I mean, he ain't moved to NXT permanently. You said we get that he's an NXT champion. When will he win the IC title? I don't know. He's in this feud with Sheamus, and Sheamus not competing for the NXT title. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I mean, it's ridiculous to me. It don't make no sense why they doing that. It don't make no sense. Why are they doing it this way? I don't get that at all. I really don't. It's just ridiculous to me. I mean, why? What's the purpose of this? Give me 1 second, guys. So I'm just wrapping my head around this. What's the whole purpose of this man being on the show? I just don't get it for the life of me. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm still trying to figure this out, and it does. They're just going. They're telling the story the wrong way. It's all over the place. There's no structure with the P Dunn storyline. It's just none whatsoever. It don't make no sense to me. I don't get it. I still don't understand it. And like Figure 4 TV said, I have been asking this for weeks and I'm still trying to figure it out. And until WWE allows me to figure it out, whether he's a Raw or NXT, whatever brand he's on, I'm going to keep asking this question. What is Pete Dunne's deal? Really, what is his deal? I need to understand what's his deal here. Because it's just not logical to me. It's just not, you know. I don't get this whole thing at all. It's just ridiculous how they're doing this whole thing here. But him being on both shows, and what Leslie going to teach Trick Williams? Trick Williams, I mean, he has every right to go over the NXT title again. He lost it in a 4-way match. But I understand why you want to knock sense into him, but you got other fish to fry. That's my problem with Pete Dunne on this particular thing. So I don't get that at all. It's just ridiculous to me. Hopefully they figure it out some way, one way or another on Raw. I really hope they do because if they need to get this all intact with each other. This whole storyline needs to be intact. It really does. Because it needs to be logical, not something that sounds silly. We don't need no more. We had enough silly storylines in the past. That's all I'm saying. And with that being said, with the whole thing, because this has been an ongoing issue, because it's been everything's not been answered, it's starting to be answered. I gotta put it on the list.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
It goes on the list. So that's one issue I saw with NXT. My next issue here, have another issue here that happened on Joe Hendry situation. The Joe Hendry concert is nothing more than a rock concert ripoff. There were some moments where it sounded funny, but it sounded it mirrored too much of the rock concert. And I understand he's Joe Hendry, believe Joe Hendry, that's his gimmick. I get all of that. But that concert really did sound like a rock knockoff. It was a fake rock concert. Everything he did, it was exactly like the Rock's concert. That's my only thing with that. I understood the story that they was trying to tell. I understood everything. And it was even funny at moments, but it sounded a little too similar to The Rock. And what made actually save this whole segment pretty much is it's the whole gala setup in a match they're gonna have at week 2. But other than that, though, that was a good part. But other than that, man, I mean, I didn't. I wish he would have added a little more flair to it. Don't do exactly how to rock this concert, but I get it. He's a popular character. I get it. He has a hit song, but it was very, very similar to The Rock. So I didn't like that part. So That was the only thing I saw wrong. Um, Other than that, there's nothing much. Believe it or not, it wasn't that much more. That's one of the things I really saw wrong with. What went wrong with Great American Bash? I didn't really see too much of an issue. It was just those two issues. So we are going to wrap it up on week one, and we're going to head off to week two. We're going to talk about that right now. So let's go over to week two. We're going to get to the bonus round here, and we're going to discuss the preview of night two. So we're going to end it here on. We'll end it on Facebook. We'll stay on X a little bit. X get some more credit. We'll stay on there, and then we're gonna cover that in a second. All right, we are here at the bonus round. Bonus round is going to be about WWE NXT Great American Bash 2024 Night 2 preview. We're going to go over the matches that were recently announced for Great American Bash that will be on week two. We'll go over each match here, and we're going to talk about who is going to win. So we'll go over each one. We'll see who be the winner is. So we'll see who gets the dub, who doesn't. We'll go over that in a second. So let's keep the lights up. We are here. Let's do it. So the first match I want to go over, it will be Joe Hendry versus Joe Coffey. This is one of the first matches that were announced for Great American Bash Week 2. We know this was started with Joe Hendry have his concert, and he was talking about Joe Coffey and Gallus, making fun of them. And they came in, they didn't appreciate what Joe Hendry said. And as a result of that, they beat him up. They really beat him up, all three of them. And he ended up.
You about to get that work, son.
He got that work. Joe Hendry said he gonna have to make an example out of Joe Coffey. He said he knew he's gonna have to have a match. He didn't know when, but it's gonna be a one-on-one match next week. If I had to guess, this may be the first or second match on the card, or in the middle of the card. But either way, they're gonna have a match. Now with Joe Coffey, since they did beat up on Joe Hendry, I would say who is going to win. We need a winner, and the winner is it's going to be who can benefit from the winner from this particular matchup. Joe Hendry's popular. He's on NXT and TNA, back and forth, back and forth. He's been doing double duty on two different promotions with the partnership between TNA and WWE. If I had to guess the winner, I got my money on Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe Joe Hendry's going to win, and that right there is undisputed.
And that is undisputed.
So I got Joe Hendry winning that match. He will win the match between himself and Joe Coffey. And it's going to be very interesting because Joe Hendry can move in the ring. That boy's solid. But I know Joe Coffey and Gallus, they want to beat up on poor. They may even interfere. Gallus may try to interfere like cowards that they are. They may even try to do that. But other than that, I got Joe Hendry winning, and he could even get more. I don't think that's the last we're going to see him on WWE NXT either. We'll continue to see more and more of Joe Hendry because he's popular and he's moving. So give that credit to them. So I definitely see something going on as far as that goes. So we're gonna look more into that of what's gonna happen, of how that's gonna go. But like I said, expect that to be a beginner's match, or you know, we're gonna see. But I'm not gonna expect the best match on the card, but this is gonna be a solid match. I do expect something amazing from the guys, because these guys, Joe Hendry can do his thing. He definitely can do his thing. But we're gonna see what happens next. But it may be some cheating and interference involved. But other than that, I don't see how he will lose. It don't make sense for Joe Hendry to lose. I don't see why he would. But we're gonna see what the next move is gonna be. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't make sense for him to lose right now. But only time will tell what they're gonna do. But much respect to Joe Hendry. He is a very popular guy. Very popular guy on the card. Very popular guy on both shows, NXT and also TNA. So that's who I have right now as far as that goes. Let's move on to the next match. We have Kalani Jordan versus Tatum Paxley. It's going to be for the NXT North American Women's Championship. They're going to have a one-on-one match. I know Kalani Jordan, she's been trying to tell Paxley stop playing with dolls, stop being a little baby. And Paxley don't like that. You know, she has this dark, weird character. And she now wants, after she defeated Izzy Dame, now she's going on to feud with Kalani, because Kalani needs a challenger. Let's be honest, she needs a challenger. And the challenger, you know, she's going to make her point, make her statement. But with that being said, I do not see how Tatum Paxley could win this title. Kalani has some more time to go with this title run, because she did win a month and a half ago at Battleground. So we got to figure out who's going to be the winner of this match between Tatum Paxley and the champion Kalani Jordan. And with that, I have Kalani Jordan winning. So Kalani Jordan will retain her NXT Women's Championship against Tatum Paxley. If anything, I see a bigger challenge for her down the road. Maybe a Jada Parker or a Lash Legend, or even maybe Saru gets another opportunity, or Carmen Petrovic, someone more affordable. Tatum Paxley's all right, but that dark character, she's something else. But other than that, though, Kalani Jordan's going to defeat her in this match. I don't see how she would defeat Kalani Jordan right now. Don't make possible sense to me. But we'll see what happens on week 2 of Great American Bash. Let's get on to another match on the card. We got Trick Willie versus Pete Dunne. This is the match I talked about earlier. Pete Dunne basically explained his heel turn, why he turned heel, what's the reason for it, and all that stuff, and why Trick Williams shouldn't whine about losing instant title. He told him to figure it out. And then he attacked Trick last week. So that's going to set a match between them. And Trick he said he ain't just going to whoop that Trick. He said he going to whoop that ass. So he's coming for Pete. He got smoke for Pete. He's not playing around with Pete. But we got to have a winner. What's the winner between this match between Trick and Pete? And you know I got my money on Trick Willie. Trick Williams is going to win this match. He needs to rebound from losing the NXT Championship. He needs to rebound from losing championship that he wasn't even pinned at NXT Heatwave. So he needs to do it against Pete Dunne, who's recently turned heel. Pete Dunne beating Trick does not do nothing for him, but it does a lot for Trick if he defeats Pete Dunne right now. So that's who I have for that. Trick Williams will win, and then this will slowly get Trick Williams way back into the NXT Championship hunt. So, but other than that, before he gets to that part, I see him defeating Pete Dunne, and it'll probably be a close one. Now, we know Trick's not the best in ring, but Pete Dunne, since he ended up with a very solid veteran Pete Dunne will bring out the best in Trick Williams. They will have a good back and forth. So only time will tell what's going to be the next one between these two guys when they face each other off in the ring for the first time ever at NXT Great American Bash week 2. So let's get on to the next match on the card. Now the next match on the card, this is similar to a Joe Hendry, very popular team reunited that's on NXT now. We got the Rascals, the team of Wesley and the other guy. I forgot the other guy's name. You got the guy that looks like Ricochet. And then the other guy. I can't MSK they call him really. Anyway, we have these 3 guys. I don't know which of the MSK who's gonna win. I don't know which one. But I do know they're going to challenge because they did beat the NXT Tag Team Champions last week in the main event in a great match of Nathan Axiom and Nathan Frazier, Axiom, and Javon Evans in the 6-man tag. They put on a great main event last week. Now they're going to challenge for the NXT Tag Team Championships. This is going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. So we got to see what's going to happen here. Who is going to win? That's right, Zachary Wentz. That's the guy right there. The back, I forgot his name. Ricochet's twin would call him. But anyway, with this championship on the line, these guys are. I project to be one of the best matches on the card. One of the best matches. You got the talent of Axiom, Nathan Frazier, working gelling very well. Then you got the MSK who had history. These guys are going to gel together well. So it's only going to come down to who can do it the best. That's what it'll come down to. And whoever wins going to walk out with the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, I like Nathan and Axiom Frazier. I spoke on this several weeks. These guys have had chemistry issues. Remember, Nathan Frazier was going out for the NXT Heritage Cup. He did not win. He also went out recently for the WWE Speed Championship that's on X every Wednesday. Did not win. Now Axiom is going out for the WWE Speed Championship, and that was on X. And I think he was a tournament or something, but he's trying to compete in a tournament for that championship. It remains to be seen if he's going to win the Speed Championship. There's really, really driving more friction between these two. And I said this before, and I'm surprised it worked a heat wave. This friction is going to continue on. It's only going to get worse, and it's going to cost these guys the NXT Tag Team Championship. So the winner I have between these 2 great teams, like I said, is so close, very, very close. Despite the issue with Nathan and Axiom Frazier and MSK, they've been dominant. It only be fitting if the Rascals MSK win the NXT Tag Team Championships. It's only fitting that these guys win, and that's who I have winning. Nathan, Axiom Frazier will lose the titles. They will break up, go their separate ways, maybe even have a match against one another. And Nathan gonna pursue what he want to pursue in his rest of his career. Nate and Axiom is gonna pursue what he want to pursue for the rest of his career. So that's who I have for that match. Now let's get to the final match on Great American Bash Week 2. Who do we have here? We have Ethan Page, Mr. Ego, Mr. Page, that is also the NXT champion. Now he's going to challenge. No, I'm sorry. Ora Missa is going to challenge Ethan for his NXT championship. Ora Missa is the challenger. We know this has been going on quite some time. It started when Ethan Page debuted at NXT. He attacked Noam Dar and Ora Missa, and Ora Missa has been attacked and taken out. Ora Missa, ever since he's returned, he's been on a quest to teach Ethan Page a lesson. Every time we look up, Ora Missa attacking him. I know every week he does a roll up on Ethan. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think that's a little repetitive. I was gonna add it to the list of also add on what went wrong with Great American Bash, but this was not really a match per se. But I feel like they're gonna run this to the ground. This whole roll up 1, 2, 3. He even did a Great American Bash after Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson had their tag match in the opener of week 1, and every time we look, Ethan Page got into the ring, cut a promo, and or Mr. Roll him up 1, 2, 3. Jakara and Lash counted 1, 2, 3. I think that's a little run to the ground. And what's going to happen is when or Mr. try to do that in the match, Ethan's going to be ready for him this time. You've done so many times. So with that part, I don't like that part in particular. So that's going to take a little bit away from the match. And that part goes on the list alone.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So other than that, though, I'm saying obvious. We got to find out who's the winner going to be between Aura and Ethan. We got to find out who the winner is going to be between these two, and we're going to be one winner. And like I said, Aura has been running this whole angle of rolling him up every single week. It's getting old and tired. He's up about 3 times now. He did it this week. He did it last week, and I think the week before. Every week he's done that. I'm like, dude, you're getting a championship match at Great American Bash Week 2. You don't have to keep doing that. It's getting repetitive and old. But since it's so obvious now, I see the writing on the wall with this particular match for the NXT Championship. I see Ethan Page retaining his championship and walking out of Great American Bash Week 2 with the NXT Championship. He may even get Trick Williams in a rematch 1-on-1. I don't know how that's going to go, but I do know it's getting really, really old and really, really tired. That part. Other than that, though, it's solid for the most part. The story, but Ethan Page, that's what's making him look bad right now. But other than that, though, that is the winner. I got Ethan Page retaining his championship. And then also, other than that, though, guys, you guys let me know what do you think of the NXT Great American Bash Week 1 that is covered, and also Week 2, the preview for Week 2 next week on SyFy. And that's all I have for NXT Great American Bash 2024. Night 1 post show, Week 2, Night 2 post show. I'll cover next week here at the Red Carpet Ring. We'll talk about this. That will again be on SyFy. It will not be on USA Network. So if you try to click to the USA Network, you're going to be for a surprise. It will not be on that show. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out. Appreciate all support. But we're going to see what's going to happen next. But this was a great, great show tonight. Great, great show. Soon to be some powerful Red Carpet Ring of wrestling content. Please click the links below. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And we are OUNT.
Something happened this weekend. And I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.